Hello YouTube, and welcome to my Ableton tutorial series. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how to quickly set up sidechaining. If you don't know what sidechaining is, basically what it does, when it's set up correctly, it will lower the instrument in volume that you're sidechaining to and allow the beat to come through more prominently. The drop in volume won't be that noticeable, but allow the beat to come through more prominently and make it more of an effective kick. Every time the kick happens, whatever overlapping the beat at the time, whether it's a synth or a bass or whatever, will be slightly lowered in volume, allowing the beat to come through more prominently, making for fat beats. We'll go ahead and get started. As you can see on my mastering channel, I have a limiter set at 0 decibel ceiling level and look ahead on 6 milliseconds. That's just to stop clipping and distortion. We'll go back and we'll play the sound that I've got loaded in. I've got a basic drum sample, 16 bars, and I've created a melody from a sample using sample chop, which is covered in one of my previous lessons. Check this out. You might be thinking that's pretty good as it is, but we want it better than that. We want it really prominent, because a kick is the most noticeable part of any electronic dance music. If you haven't got your kick sorted out, you're going to fail on the dance floor, believe you me. The first thing we want to do is go to audio effects, then come to compressor, and you put the compressor on the instrument you want to actually have loading volume, because we're going to point at the drums. So if you've got a synth or a bass, you put it on the corresponding one. So we're going to put it on the synth, and then down here you have a little drop down arrow. Click that, click on sidechain to highlight it, then where it says audio from, go down to no input, select that, and come down to where it says we're using drum beat. That's our sample. We look for a sample. It's on channel 1. That's what we want. We're going to point it in the direction of the drums. That's the drums in our arrangement view. So we click that. Then where it says post effects, click the drop down arrow and click on pre effects. Then on EQ. Since it's a synth, highlight EQ. For synths, you want to put it on. You want to use this one here. Roll off the low end, and you want to put the frequency on about 3.25. That's a good level, that's a good frequency for presence. It really has a nice sheen to it. If you're just going to do bass, you'd want to click on this one, roll off the high end, and bring it down to say 120 Hertz, because the kick happens usually between 40 Hertz to 80 Hertz, and if you've got your frequency, your bass, between 40 and 80, it will conflict with the drums, leading to muddiness in your track, which will be washed out and it won't be as good. It won't be as prominent. It'll be slightly muddy, they call it. We're going to put it back on, roll up the low end, and put it back on 3.25 kilohertz. There you go. And the quantization we'll put up to say 3. That just means how much the effect will be applied. Ratio, you want that on 4:1. It means it'll be compressed 4 times. That's what we want. You can do anywhere between 2:1 to 4:1. 4:1 usually yields the best results. It'll compress it 4 times. But 4:1, you want the attack on say 0.75 milliseconds. What an attack does is basically the higher the attack, the longer the delay between the actual sample or MIDI sequence being played from the beginning. Release, you can go ahead and click on auto, because it's pretty good. It does the job well. Or if you don't want auto, a good release is usually say for electronic dance music just over the 300 mark, but we'll use auto because it usually does the job right. Leave it on peak. Come down here where you got this little line, there's 2 little lines here. Click on that. Then where it says knee, drag that down to 5.1. Put the look on 10 milliseconds, and click on this little waveform icon here. We'll play back the sound, and you'll see it start, and then you drag this line down to where it starts peaking, just below it, where it's compressed. So we play it back. Can you see? As you can see, that's pretty good. It's now sidechaining perfectly. I'll reduce it like lots in volume so you can hear the difference when you overdo it too much. Here we go. See the effect now? That's really drastic. You can mess about with this slider here, or you can drag down to about a bit too much. Can you hear the beat coming through more prominently now? To get even fatter beats, what we can do is add this little effect under audio effects. Come to audio effect rack, click on the drop down arrow, click on the drop down arrow for mixing and mastering, then drag off boombox drums. Not big boom master, but boombox drums. Drag that off onto your drum channel. We'll play that back at 12, and then if it's too loud and it distorts, this is the one you want to take notice of, the saturator drive. So we'll drag that down to say 9 decibels. Now listen, it should be fatter. We'll now go ahead and put up to 12 decibels. It's distorted in there, so we'll bring it down to say, this is before, and this is after. Before and after. Well, that's how to use sidechain and make fat beats in Ableton Live 10. Thank you for watching YouTube. If this video has been useful at all, or you've liked it, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Be safe, be lucky, and have a good day.